ready?
We're ready. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Sunday night with the three of us. We've got the lovely Stephen Walker and the even lovelier Tosh Britton.
Thank you so much.
And we've been asked, we spoke, was it last Sunday? I think, was it last Sunday? Can't remember.
Yeah, I think it
about
was.
dating, the hot topic of dating. And we've had some really good feedback, and we've had a few of our followers asking us to do another episode. So here we are. We got asked to tell a few funny stories, but we're struggling a little bit, and we don't want to, embarrass anybody that we've dated or come under any criticism for the things that we've done or whatever. So we're going to err on the side of caution. We might have a couple of stories, but we're going to talk about kind of profile pictures and what to write, what not to write in your profile, and how long you should wait if you're messaging someone to arrange a date, and a few little things like that, I think. Does that sound about right?
I think we're going to use our experiences. We're going to share our experiences, or the worst of them.
Yeah, but we're not particularly good advocates, are we? Because we're all still single. So everything
we don't know what we're doing.
Do the opposite.
Yeah, we're here to tell you how not to do it. So you just go out and do the complete opposite, and you might get lucky.
Yeah, just a quick little thing before we start. We do hope everyone's all right. There's obviously been a lot of announcements this week affecting lots of people local to us, Lancashire and Merseyside. So we hope you're okay and coping all right. It's tough times, especially being single and trying to date. It's an absolute nightmare, isn't it? So
it is.
Steve, I'm going to hand over to you, Steve. I think you've got a...
Yeah, so we're going to start with profiles. And James will love me for saying this, but it's really important you do a good profile. And if anybody's read James's profile, I'm behind that. I wrote it.
I'm a little bit upset we didn't share it. We said we were going to share our profiles with each other, didn't we? So we
did, yeah.
We did, yeah. Maybe that's why I'm still single, Steve, because you wrote it.
Could be onto something there. But Tosh is writing our profiles now, so we'll be fine.
Maybe that's a good idea. If Tosh wrote one for us, so from a woman's
and
point
then
of
you
view,
two could write one for me.
What do you like to see in a man's profile? We could write one for Tosh.
Should we do that? Should we do that in a couple of weeks' time? And we'll just test it out for a couple of weeks.
Tosh will lose her whole reputation.
No dates now. Yeah, that'll be it. Should be no dates, no likes, no swipes. That'll be it. The things that I don't like in a profile. I've been on some profiles.
Tell us what you don't like.
Some of them are too long.
Have you got your arm on your hip? You're kind of giving it the old...
Yeah, soapbox. It's when they're too long. Some women write a lot, reams and reams and reams. Like, they do bullet points, things that they don't want, and it's like everything. And then the things that they do want, it's just too long, and I can't be bothered reading them.
Okay.
If they're too long, I don't even read them, I'll be honest with you. I get bored. And
okay.
If you give too much away in your profile, then it's like, well, I know everything about you now. What's the point in messaging you? I know it all.
See, I prefer that. I prefer knowing. So I've got a better picture of it's a bit like buying a car. You ask all the questions when you go and buy it, don't you?
If you're not buying a woman.
You're not buying a car.
Well, yeah,
I don't think you're even going for a test drive, I think. You're just walking past the showroom.
Window shopping. Yeah. I think that the profile should be short and to the point. Like maybe what your intentions are, what you want, and a couple of things you like doing. We don't need to know if you've got 3 dogs and 2 cats, really. At that point, it's not going to make me want to message you or not, whether you've got a couple of cats or something.
Well, you might need to know if you're allergic, mate.
Yeah, true. That is true, yeah.
But maybe just like have a picture of you and your one picture of you.
Yeah.
and your pet. But
Oh
one
no,
thing's
no, Tosh, no,
because then we
no.
get pet fish. Women get pet fish.
Pet pictures are a big no for me. I do not want to see your bloody pit bull with you in bed with cuddling it. I do not.
No, not in bed.
Or anywhere. I don't want to see that.
You'd be amazed how many blokes as well are like all snuggled up with these dogs, like licking their chops.
No.
Which is, we're probably going to open up a whole can of worms with this one, right? I've got a dog. I love my dog. My dog is just like sitting under the table here.
Yeah.
I might pick her up and get her out and introduce you. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to do that.
Please don't.
Okay.
Welcome
she's very
to
cute.
Crufts.
No, it's not. Look.
Bestie. No, she's very
love
cute.
She's
it.
a little baby. Look.
Very cute.
And
dog.
she's got legs like she's got Ewok legs.
I've met him.
Rose.
She's very cute.
lovely.
Beautiful.
She's very sweet indeed. So
Put it on a profile picture on a dating site. No.
okay. Right, so no dogs.
I kind of agree with Tosh, really, James. It says a bit about the person. So you're outvoted there.
No judgment, James.
They love dogs more than men, probably. That's what it says.
Oh no. Well, you'll get that and I'll have a conversation with them. And if they go on about their animals all the time, then you know that's probably a flag.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to talk about is how I ran this on a workshop in a group. And it was basically how to choose your photographs and how to write your profile. And I was talking with some friends, and basically you write exactly what you want, right? Not what you think you want. So really have a good, and somebody said to me, right, so get a nice sheet of A4 paper. So obviously I take notes when we do this stuff. So you get a sheet of A4 paper and you draw a stick person or a man or whatever you want, and you write down everything you want about that person. Yeah. Their attributes, how they are physically, mentally, emotionally, and you write all that stuff. You're almost like manifesting the person you want, right? So just take like 5-10 minutes and write it all down. Go, right, this is the person I want. And if you start thinking, oh, I want somebody who's really wealthy to rescue me, or I want, because that's kind of no, blokes are all over that stuff at the moment. Just kind of just write down exactly what you want and what you know, and for blokes as well, what do you want, and be really, really honest about what you want, and then just kind of just be you. Just put those lovely photos out who are you, and yeah, and just kind of and get a really good friend who really loves you and knows you well, yeah, to just have a look at it and just give you the once over to see if you know that really is you, and ask them to be honest, because the thing is, for me, if you don't put out what you truly want, you're not going to get that person. Yeah. Because you're not being honest from the start. And it's not that you're being dishonest, but really just kind of have a really kind of like a really honest conversation with yourself, you know, and don't be too rigid, you know, about exactly what you want. And it's very easy when we've been through everything that we've been through to go, right, I deserve this and I deserve that and everything. We might not get that person that we exactly want, but in that wanting to have them exactly as that, we might miss the opportunity of somebody who's really perfect for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's important, like not sticking to a specific like type. I don't like it when people say, well, it's not that I don't like it, but like you said, I think if you're saying you've got a type and they've got to have dark hair and they've got to have blue eyes, they've got to be over 6 foot tall, they've got to be this, that and the other, then like you said, Tosh, you could be missing out on the perfect person for you just because the hair's a different colour than you would normally go for.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what my type is, to be honest with you. It's like if somebody said to me, what's your type? I don't know.
I tell you what, these days, it's anybody who turns up on the date who looks like me.
Options open. That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But we're also talking about, like, I don't like messaging so much, right? So I kind of prefer to speak to somebody because a voice is really important to me. And And as well, I get them on FaceTime or WhatsApp or whatever really quickly on a video if I think I like them.
Yeah.
If they start getting all funny about it being too quick, well, then they can just go away because they're not serious.
That's what you did with me, innit, Tosh? When we started texting, you had me on WhatsApp, FaceTime, and I thought you were right freak at first. But then I realised what you were playing at.
Just want to get the measure of you, Steve Walker.
Some
And nobody can lie on screen. It's really difficult, and you'll see if people are nervous. You'll get the vibe off them as well. And that's the other thing. If your intuition is saying to you something's not right, it's for a reason. And if you're feeling it in your body, it's for a reason. Yeah. If your stomach, there's something in your stomach, and you're thinking, oh, it doesn't feel right. Don't let your mind monkeys go, oh, but he's gorgeous, or he's loaded, or she's beautiful, or she's got an amazing figure, or whatever your thing is, whatever your weakness is, your Achilles heel, don't let that override what your intuition is saying.
Yeah, I think a lot of women I find though were a bit apprehensive about moving on to WhatsApp or Facebook, because I've been told in the past that it's only a certain type of men that want to get you on WhatsApp straight away.
Really?
Meaning, I think a bloke who's just after one thing. Apparently, that's what they do. So
that's not you, James. So I know what you mean.
It's about timing, isn't it? I think if it was, after maybe a couple of days or something, if you were then saying, then a lot of women were like,
Yeah.
How often, guys? This is a problem I've got, and I'd like your opinion on this, because that's what I like about these chats.
Share with us, Steve.
They're live, aren't they? But I must have wasted hours of my time. I'm sure James has, messaging one girl, and then finally it comes to nothing. Don't even get to go on a date, and I just think,
why are you just messaging one person?
Probably the way I am in it, James. I've always been like that.
I think we touched on this last time, didn't we? Like the ghosting and the messaging for too long, which I think is another thing we're going to touch on.
Do you know what we ought to do, guys? What do you reckon we ought to do?
I don't know. We've not discussed this question, Tosh.
I'm getting on Tosh's neural pathway. Give me a minute.
What are we going to do? What is it that we ought to do?
I don't know. I reckon we ought to set up a dating site.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's like honest, true, good, kind people.
We do my shit out of water.
Do we get the first pick off?
Oh my god.
And the prize for this week's member is a date with Jim.
Oh yeah.
And what's
it's a good idea. It's a good idea actually. Setting up a dating app. It's good. It is a good idea. Yeah.
We've talked about it all, James, haven't we? That's why we're doing this now. We decided to do a channel first.
It's in the pipe. Maybe it's something for the future. Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
What the other thing I was going to say, James, what's on the banner behind you today? Banister behind you today.
The banister. Oh, it's football top. It's been there every episode. It's not moved for 4 weeks. It's my son's football top.
Oh.
And being a single parent, I've been a bit lonely, so I've put some new friends up on my wall.
Oh dear. You've got your plant, yeah. Looks a bit dodgy.
I know. I think it got a bit cold outside,
cold, yeah.
Just come inside for a bit of love.
There's been a nip in the air today. I think we were gonna. It's difficult to like to gauge when to say ask if they want to go onto WhatsApp, ask for a Facebook card. It's difficult when to gauge it. It's also difficult when to know if you're getting along with someone. When do you then say, "Oh, would you like to meet up?" For my own personal thing, that I don't like to wait too long, because, like we've mentioned, I like getting messages. It's really good, but all this ping for whatever a month or something. You need the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? You've got to meet someone to know whether there's that connection, whether you like them or not. So I would say maybe for me, a couple of weeks, maybe even less. I would maybe be asking if they wanted to meet up. I don't know what you two feel. Tosh, from a woman's point of view, if I'd been messaging you for 2 weeks and it had been going well,
See,
would you think
I'm
that's
one of these
okay?
people that I'm just honest, and I'm just like, well, I wish people well. I always, I do all that stuff. And if somebody wants to meet me and I like the look of them, then I'll say yes. But if they're faffing around and I don't know, I just can't be doing with it. I literally
flaky.
cannot be doing any flakiness, right? I'm just like, actually enough. Because when I first went out on a dating app, I just met blokes who were so flaky, and I was just, and I felt, and this kind of comes back to the self-kindness. Yeah, what is it that you are ready to put? What are you ready to put up with? And what is this about? Is it about loneliness? Yeah, and especially at this time, it's easy to fall into that. You've got a weekend, you've got lockdown, you kind of go on and go, and you start sort of making allowances that you wouldn't normally do because of where we're all at.
Yeah.
And that might actually work, because some people might come forward and go, actually, do you know what? I don't want to be in this space anymore. I really do want to commit to meeting somebody. But again, I think it's all about coming back. Just listen to what you're feeling off this, right? So don't overthink it. Just come back and just think, does this person sound like somebody who is a good, kind person? How do they sound? Do they have kindness in their voice? A voice, how do they talk to you? Oh my God, I am going to share something with you, actually. There was this bloke and he turned around. I don't know if I can share this, actually.
Oh.
Anyway, maybe not.
Is this a family show? It is. Is it a family show, would you say?
I think it's about dating. I wouldn't necessarily say it's family orientated, no.
No, but anyway, he just met, he just came out with this expression about my chest, and I was like, I thought he was okay, and then I was like, what on earth have you just said? And I was like, oh my God.
Is this on a date or on a message?
On a message.
On a message.
And I was going to meet him, and he just came out with it, and everybody's going to want to know what it was. Oh, mate. Oh, no.
Just get it off your chest, Tosh.
Okay, so he turned around and he said, hey, sugar tits, like out of nowhere. And I just was like, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I was like,
I'm sorry about that, Tosh. I didn't mean any offense by it.
Okay, no. You didn't have to confess. I know it's Sunday night confessional, well, it could be.
Yeah.
This could be the other part of the show.
So
but
we're saying that.
Would you think that was okay? Just suddenly say something like that?
No.
Well done. Well done, boys. I like that.
Could have been a lot worse, though.
Yeah, it could have been, but I just thought, I was just like, no.
Oh yeah, it's not a thing to say to somebody that you've never met.
No.
Maybe.
There we go.
So we're saying after, you think it was okay after a couple of weeks to then arrange to meet up with somebody, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, if they live in your town, they live around the corner, you might as well have a little chat on the phone and meet up, get it over and done with. I mean, I think we all overthink things too much. We think, oh God, I don't want to look too desperate.
I have got.
Yeah. Put a time scale on things, don't you, sometimes? Like, oh, it's been 2 weeks, it's too soon. You think maybe wait a month, and
that's overthinking it. Life is too short.
Yeah, definitely.
I think everybody overthinks it too much. Just if you want to meet somebody, just meet somebody. And if they think if they got a game thing running in their head and they're going, oh, it's a bit too short, she must look really eager. Yeah. Do you want to be going out with somebody who does stuff like that?
No,
none of us do.
No.
So just
if
go.
I said to you, Tosh, this is another one. If I said to you, right, we're gonna go. We arranged the date, yeah. And I said, I'll pick you up from your house. What would you say? No.
Although I did.
I wouldn't let you pick me up, mate.
So there's a story. Somebody told me a story recently, and it was a bloke actually who went out with a girl. And I'm sorry, girls, that I don't have a story about blokes, but I'm sure they're equal measure out there as well. And this guy met this woman in the coffee shop who didn't look anything like her photos. Said, please, girls, come on, do us all a favor and just put the right photos on. And she didn't look anything like her photos. She was much, much older, and she was heavier as well. Fine, if that's, just love yourself. And she turned up and he was like, well, and she said, oh, what's wrong? And he sort of said, well, you don't really look like that, but let's have a coffee. Had a quick coffee, went to say goodbye, gave her a peck on each cheek. That was it. He got a phone call from his ex-wife from their marital home about 2 weeks later going, all right, get back here now. I've got some mad woman outside throwing stones at the window and she's really, really drunk. And she's saying, we've got to be together. Don't you realise? And it was this woman from the coffee shop. And she literally had stalked him, found his ex-marital home, and then turned back 2 weeks later, having been taken away by the police, and was then cautioned.
Oh, poor woman.
So be discerning, guys and girls. Be careful.
Yeah.
Do your due diligence. Ask them for their surname.
Yeah.
And then,
You know what? It's funny you should say that, because I've been on like dates before, and when I've told people at work, oh, what's the name? And it's whatever it is. And what's the surname? And like, actually,
get a surname.
I've no idea.
Yeah. And girls, get a number plate, right? And if you're meeting somebody and you don't really know where you are, whatever, in the area, take a photo of the number plate. And if they have a problem with it, just get back in your car and go home.
How do you know what car they're in if you meet them inside somewhere? Take a picture of the whole
Well, if
car.
they say, well, yeah.
Sorry, I'm late. I've just been photographing every number plate outside.
Well, I always got. I don't want to meet the mad woman taking pictures of number plates in the car park.
Which one of these is yours? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this?
And he points to the bicycle outside the bike rack.
I got a taxi, love. I got an Uber.
Anyway, so it's about safety, and
you've got to be careful, especially for the women. I get it. We're laughing and joking about it, but you've got to be so careful. And I know some of my female friends that if they're going on a date, they won't let them pick them up. The guy pick them up from the house, and they will tell one of the friends maybe which pub they're going to or which restaurant they're going to as well.
They contact Single Parents United now, James.
You can contact you. Okay, yeah. Stephen Walker. But yeah, it is important to be safe, isn't it? And yeah, it's really important.
Got interestingly, guys, while we've been filming, I've got a message off one of our members who wants to know what our thoughts are on long distance dating.
Ooh,
right.
Okay. So long distance dating. God, COVID, isn't it all a bit long distance? It just feels like long distance, doesn't it?
Now, I know James doesn't like to drive more than 30 minutes to go on a date, which is why a lot of his relationships have failed.
Yeah, it's got to think. You got to think about the petrol money as well, aren't you? You know what I mean? Times are tough at the moment. I think for me personally, I wouldn't want to be in a long distance relationship. One of the reasons is I think that sometimes, during the week, whatever, you've had a bit of a bad day at work or something, you want to be able to go and see that person and maybe just sound off a little bit, or go around so they can cheer you up, and go around and have a brew or have some tea, whatever, and just forget about the stresses of work, life, whatever. And I know you can ring someone up or anything, but it's not the same, is it, as seen in person?
I think human connection is really important. I was going to add a hug to that as well, because there's nothing nicer than having a hug at the end of a bad day.
But I think some people make long distance relationships work. The other thing is as well, especially if you've both got kids and things progress, you're going to have that dilemma.
Yeah.
Point. Where do you live? You know what I mean? It's person.
I've kind of got a bit of that at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
Having kind of my ex and I don't think I really share very much, but my ex and I basically saw each other for about 5 years out of 16 that we were married, because he just worked away all the time. So that was kind of one of the reasons. So I'm slightly against the whole long distance thing. And I don't know. I think each to their own. If it's meant to be, something will work out.
Yeah, I definitely want.
And I think, and I just think if you meet somebody and they live a couple of hours away, then you just gotta stop it. Then you literally just got to just go with it and just trust that something will work out. So one thing I wanted to say is self-kindness. So one of the big things after dates is this, and I'm sure the boys will agree, a little bit of like beard stroke, bit of 5 o'clock shadow stroking, maybe 7 o'clock shadow stroking, James, 8. And that is, if people don't come back to you, or if somebody suddenly ghosts you, okay, it's really important that you don't get down that rabbit hole of like self-judgment. You're not good enough, you feel ashamed, you don't feel, worthy, you don't feel beautiful enough, and then you feel like you've got to upgrade your pictures because you're not. Just trust that the right people are going to happen when you know exactly what you want and you're honest. And there are so many people out there with so much stuff that they're not looking at. And I would really suggest, if you get the measure of somebody and they start slagging off their ex or whatever, they haven't sorted their stuff out yet. If somebody sits down in front of you at a table and wants to use you as a sounding board for the stuff that's happening in their relationship still, or, we all have stuff, but whether we choose to come into a new relationship with it. So if somebody just wants to spend all night slating their ex, right, you're not their counselor. You don't need to sort it out. It's for this person to sort it out. And actually, you kind of need to make your, if something's going to happen between you, make it sacred. It's like a no slate, ex slating until you further down the line, maybe like space. Give yourselves that opportunity to have that lovely time just to enjoy the newness of it all without dragging all the past stuff in.
Yeah, I completely agree. If somebody's going to go on about it all night, but I find that the conversation always goes to what happened with your ex. It's just a natural.
But you don't have to. You can kind of actually
have to drag everything up. You have to drag everything up, but from a man and a woman's point of view, you're always intrigued to know why they split up, aren't you? I am. I always want to know why the person I'm dating with isn't with their ex-boyfriend, ex-husband anymore. And they normally want to know why I'm not.
What do you say, James, at that point? Do you always go, which ex? Here we are.
No, I don't. I think I'm always honest. I'm always honest and just tell them there's not really much drama, but just tell them what happened. And I think, I agree with what you're saying. You don't want someone to keep going on and on and on and on and on about it. But I find that it does always crop up either in a message before you meet them or when you actually meet them, because you're trying to work out, aren't you? Like, why did they split up with the husband? Did they cheat on them? Are they some kind of psycho or you're trying
to. I think a lot of that as well is already kind of creating more on the board than you need.
Yeah.
There's so much back stuff on it. It's just maybe keep it to a minimum. You just kind of, you don't have to go into the whatever's just, and I get what you're saying, James, completely. But also people can come to the table and meet you with whatever take on what happened they wanted.
Yeah.
And I just, and we don't actually know whatever properly happens in past relationships.
No, we
only ever hear that one side.
Take the word, you get one side of the story, don't you?
This is quite a serious conversation today, isn't it?
Pardon?
I said, I want to hear your ex-wife's side of the story. I've only heard yours.
You could say that, couldn't you? Say, if you want to know if I'm telling the truth, here's my ex's number. Give her a ring. She'll fill you in with all the details. Tell you what I'm like.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea,
isn't it? It's really
brilliant. I think you've nailed it.
New concept there.
We could just have all our exes
off my ex's number.
We could have our exes on the show. We actually could take a step off the show one day and have our 3 exes on the show, and just they could run the show one day.
They can just tell everybody everything about us, all the truths, all the whole truths. And,
so
where are we at on the agenda now? Well, have we covered everything?
I don't know, Steve. You've got the agenda, mate.
Oh yeah.
Is it hidden?
The agenda.
Agenda.
So.
Oh yeah, that was one. How many people? We didn't really go into it. How many people would you message at one time, Tosh? Because you said before, why am I only messaging one? So, how many people should I be messaging?
don't know. I think if you really like somebody, you're honest with them if you meet them, and maybe just just say thank you very much to the others. I don't know. I think each to their own.
So if I say I was messaging you and another person, and I thought I'm gonna go and meet you, do I still message that other person while I'm starting something with you? What's the right thing to do? Is there a right thing to do? I'm just putting it out there.
I don't know.
I think it goes down to the individual, doesn't it? It's whatever you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
really. Because we
You've
all
got to live with yourself as well, and
we all know that a lot of people, when they are messaging, they're not just messaging you; they're messaging other people as well. In case it doesn't work out with you, they want another option. And
oh, you just reminded me of someone. This is funny, Tosh. I was messaging a girl. This was about 2 years ago. James will have forgot. And later on that evening, he was telling me who'd been messaging him, and I was telling him who'd been messaging me. And we were talking about the same flipping girl. She was playing us both.
oh,
did you know us?
Yeah. And I was staying at a hotel that night, and you were like, "Oh my God, she's messaging both of us at the same time, and she thinks that we don't know."
you should have done a double, turn up and done a date and just had a laugh about it.
You were in a hotel, we'd stay out of interest.
I was on my own, remember?
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Didn't got to come back.
I couldn't because you were messaging.
Oh yeah, it's a minefield.
My friends and I actually, we're quite lucky. We all seem to find different blokes. So we all kind of go, somebody go, oh, you're messaging somebody, and I go, yeah. Have a little chat, and then they go, oh, what's his name? And I'll go, and I'll say yes, whatever their name is, Steve.
Not the same person.
And then they go, oh no, it's not that one, and we all go,
I'm sure it's happened lots, hasn't it, where friends have been out with the same guy or the same woman and not known about it. It's
this would be like.
Remember Ibiza, mate?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, that was what was running.
Go on,
you tell everyone what happened.
That was what was running through my head at the time.
Go on, tell them. You tell
them. Well, me and Steve went on a holiday to Ibiza many years ago. Just the two of us, and it was a really good holiday actually.
It's brilliant.
On the first night, Steve was getting a bit of action on the dance floor, bit of lip action on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And I'd not seen him. I was off somewhere else. And then I got Stephen went off the toilet, and I got a bit of action as well on the dance floor. And Steve came back, and I was kissing this girl, and Steve was like, "What are you doing?" And it's the girl that he'd been kissing 5 minutes before.
Shameless behaviour.
She knew what she was doing. She'd done it as a bet with a friend. A friend had said to her, I bet you can't pull them two. She did it, didn't she? Oh dear. Luckily, we didn't fall out. It was the first.
No, we didn't.
We didn't fall out about it. But the other one, when I proper ruined it for you one night, didn't I? I can't remember what I said now, but Steve was proper had his hard hat on, working away at this girl, and near the end of the holiday, and he went off the toilet, and I went up to her and said something like, he was. I don't even know what it was. What was it? What did I say to her?
He's on a bet, something like that.
Yeah, that's it. He's only doing it for a bet. He's only trying to pull you for a bet. And she was fuming and stormed off. Where's she gone? I was like, and I was really drunk and said, I told her you do it for a bet. And he was proper fuming.
I was. Yeah.
You know what? That's actually how I went on.
That's why I'm still single, mate, because of you. She was the one.
She was in Ibiza all them years ago, whenever it was, 2002 or something. I don't know.
Sometimes wonder why I'm friends with you, but here we are.
That's why I'm friends with you. I'm doing it for you.
If you're out there, the Ibiza girl, please know this. I genuinely liked you.
Yeah, she was in.
Contact Single Parents United, and I'm available.
And he's up for a long distance relationship as well.
Yeah, in
Oh,
a
yeah.
if you live in a beach.
Especially if you live in Ibiza.
That's fine. He'll be fine with it.
You might have the rest of us coming over as well and doing a show from your
Yeah,
place. But
that'd be awesome.
Funny.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Putting it out there. You never know. Right. So guys, how are we doing? What are we up for? On Tuesday, we're going to be talking about alcohol. We're going to be talking about alcohol with a coach who is called Stephanie Chivers. I've known Stephanie for a good few years now, and she has worked with people with addictions with drugs and alcohol, and she's going to be answering questions on ways to reduce your alcohol intake. If you're up for this October still, we've still got a couple of weeks left to go, or a week and a bit, so you can still do a week, start small rather than going for the whole month. And just kind of talking a bit more about the effects of alcohol on us and, our mental well-being as well, and how it can increase anxiety and all those other things that we kind of need to be a bit more on if we're single parents and we're keeping a whole thing going with, work, small children, older children, the news, whatever else is going on, lockdown. So we're going to be sharing that and lots more on Tuesday, and look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, and the other thing we said is we're going to be giving some parenting tips going forward in some of our programs.
Yeah,
Not
so
James's tips.
No.
Tosh's tips.
I'll be taking notes of listening to all. Yeah. But I think we said, didn't we? We're going to try and think of something to say to empower people to start their week strong, didn't we? On a Sunday. So you guys are probably the quotey people, especially Steve. You come on, you must think of a
Steve. I love
positive words to put
Start
out
the week strong.
Start the week strong. Loving someone else should never be at the expense of losing yourself.
Very good.
Very good. Like it.
Yeah. So on that note, we will say goodbye to everybody and thank you. We hope we've covered the areas that you wanted us to cover in this second episode. I am going to add on a special edition of a new dating game show that we've come up with on the end of this
They sprung on me, can I just tell you? I didn't know anything about this.
No, she didn't know.
Watch till the end and that'll give you a bit of a laugh, hopefully. Don't forget to comment on our videos and like them and subscribe if you want. Also follow us on Instagram, single.parents.united, and have a look and at our Facebook page, Single Parents United.
Yeah.
And somebody once said, never say never. Would you guys get married again? Here's a question.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, because I want another stag do.
Ibiza.
Yeah.
I'm undecided. I don't know. I've always said no, but like you said, you can never say never, can you?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Okay, right, we're gonna go now, guys. We're just gonna leave you with another little quote, which is, when single parents are happy,
the kids are happy.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow. Right, but before we go, we talked about speed dating, we talked about virtual dating, we've talked about dating apps, but we're going to try something new tonight with Steve. Steve's going to be like playing the host, Cilla Black kind of person. Steve, aren't you?
We love Cilla.
Yeah.
Tosh is going to be the female contestant, and I'm going to be the male contestant in an all new dating concept called masked dating. Okay, masked dating. So
Can I just say, I don't know anything about this. I'm coming in cold on this one.
I'm going to get prepared. Steve, you're going to play Cilla. Okay, so have a bit of a chat to our Tosh. Find out what's your name and where'd you come from.
Yeah, Tosh, so can you give us a little background about where you're from?
So my real name is Natasha.
Oh,
I've got 2 teenagers, and I live about 20 minutes away from the sea, and I love cold water swimming. I go down there without a wetsuit all year round, and I love cold water swimming. It makes me feel amazing. It's just that's quite addictive, actually. So that's my.
and what are you looking for in a gentleman?
In a gentleman, I like the way you said that. I think honesty. I think somebody who is kind, and somebody. You're right there. It's a bit of noise in the
I think
background.
somebody's knocking on the door. 1 minute.
Okay. It's all right, Scylla.
I'm ready.
And then there was me. So I'm going to tell everybody the rest, but they might not actually know what's going on.
No. Has he come back yet?
I'm speaking to James's like exercise bike. I just had a little chat to myself. The studio cleared.
Where's he gone?
I'm back now.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh, you're still hiding. I'd forgotten that you were supposed to be hiding. I was wondering where James is going.
I'm ready. Are you ready? Okay.
No, hang on. No, James. Oh.
Ready. I'm ready. This is the new concept, okay? Mask dating. Are we ready?
Okay.
So, Steve, Tosh is gonna ask me a series of questions, and after each answer, I'm gonna take one of the masks off.
Okay. Oh my God, it's like that show, isn't it?
Naked Attraction.
Oh, Naked Attraction. Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask you a
Is Steve
question.
there?
No, he's run away.
Has he not come back?
No, he hasn't.
I thought he'd come back. Oh,
No.
we need to wait for Steve.
All right, I'm right.
Are you back?
Yeah.
Right, go on then.
Sorry, my little boy just walked in. So.
Right. It's really hot under here.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I got to ask you 3 questions.
Yeah, go
Hi,
on.
James.
Hi, I'm James and I'm from Preston.
James, fantastic. So James, what do you like? What is your favourite part of the day?
Oh, that's a bit of a rubbish question.
Is it? Okay, James, if you were going to take a girl out,
Yeah.
what would you do on the second date?
The second day.
And it's a family show.
I've never got to that point before, Todd, so I'm a little bit stumped, but I think I'd probably take them to my favourite restaurant and wine and dine them.
Good answer. We like that, don't we,
We
Scylla?
do.
Would you like me to take?
I
one
think
from
you
that shop?
should. I think that's definitely
I'll
a.
put that up. Let me.
Oh, hang on.
oh.
Got double drop.
Don't get giddy, James.
There we go. There's one of them off.
Well done. Okay, so have I got to ask 3 questions? Right.
Yeah.
2 more, yeah.
Okay.
So I've unveiled. What have you unveiled? Bit of my forehead. Think of the forehead.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Like the fact you've done a bit. You've done your hair tonight. Very
Yeah.
nice, sharp.
Mm.
Like it. Yeah, you've obviously paid attention. We like that in a man. Looks after himself. So, James, second question. If a girl turned around to you and said, I'm really into meditation and it really does it for me, would you join me? Would you go for it?
Oh,
Would you
yeah,
try it?
Definitely. I'd definitely give it a try. Yeah, because where would you be doing this meditation, Tosh?
What about if I said on the top of a hill?
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, as long as it wasn't too long of a walk. I'm a bit unfit. I might not make.
You'd be able to sit down and meditate for a little bit at the
Okay,
top.
yeah.
So
I'd probably be a little bit worried that if I fell asleep and you didn't like me, you might just leave me at the top.
run away.
Would you like me to take another mask off?
I think that would be great. The great unveil. Oh, nice. Oh, he looks all right, doesn't he, Scylla?
Yeah, it's looking great.
Fantastic. Right, so final question. Right, let me think. So Steve, sorry, James, I've forgotten your name. That's so bad. I'm so
Brilliant.
sorry.
Brilliant. Stay on the mind.
Bring the next girl on, please, Scylla. White.
Okay, so third and final question.
I'm ready.
Okay, third and final question. If I asked you, we've been dating for a little bit, and I asked you if you'd be happy to have a tattoo.
Yeah. With your
I'm
name.
coming cold. I have had no time to prepare for this, Stella. I think it's a little bit unfair,
Hey,
right?
Well, I don't know what's going on. Somebody's been trying to break the door down in my house. I don't know if somebody's delivering a pizza, and then the sun's come down as well. So anyway,
James, if you have you got any tattoos, and if you haven't, if you were to get a tattoo, what would you get and where?
I would get Single Parents United tattooed right there,
right there, lad.
on the guns.
There you go, on your guns. Fantastic.
Yeah. Would you like me to take my third mask off, Tosh?
Go on. Are we all ready for this?
The
great unveil.
Hey!
Oh.
We're gonna go on
No,
the date.
Tosh.
So you get a good quality of good quality of contestant on here, don't you?
What do you think, Tosh?
Yeah, can we go and come dine with me next time? Then we can all go out for dinner.
Yeah, we could do virtual. Let's
do it.
So what do we think about mass dating? Has it got legs, you think?
Definitely.
I think so. I've got to get good at my questions.
Yeah, you have. Must do better.